All right, hey everyone, Egman here with a special guest, Kasey Scott. How you doing,
Hi.
Casey?
I'm doing all right.
Good, good. He was present on my live stream that I did this weekend, and he had not one, not two, but three Universe Six, kind of like the new wave of veggie decks. Which to be honest, I don't know how to build these guys as well as Casey does. So instead of trying to make the deck myself, I decided I'm just going to cheat off him and take his deck list. So uh, here we are.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. No, but you've got some really cool builds and. I think they are set some pretty good precedents for going forward with this set. So we've got three builds. We're going to start with Cabba, and then we're going to go to more of the crazier stuff as we go on. But and a lot of them have the same cards. Really, I'd say over half the decks are pretty much a
Yeah.
solid engine of the new just the new veggies. So. First, I'm just going to talk about the standard package. So we've got the one drop. So we've got the blue kale and the blue Khalifa. Both of these have a permanent that say that these guys can't be blown up by your opponent's skill, which make these guys pretty sticky. Actually, like that skill's almost better than barrier a lot of the time. Like you have to pretty much rest them and then attack into them, right? To get rid.
Or bounce them or
Yeah,
whatever.
you can
I mean,
bounce it back in your hand. Yeah, that's true. But
but
definitely annoying in a lot of ways.
it helps against green.
Yeah.
It's all your guys have to combo and play.
Yeah, definitely. So we've got that, and then also, and what these the one drop Khalifa searches top five for Universe Six. That's blue or yellow, which is all right. Like two great effects on one card that you want to put in your deck anyways. So that's really obnoxious. Kale's not as important, but it can be important where it just searches for Universe Six that's cost three or more if you drop and puts it to your hand. So that can help some recycling, but I'd
I
say
think she's really important against Geneva.
mhm.
You have to get to your Champa and Vados really fast.
Yes, Choppa and Vados are probably like I'd say probably one of the most broken cards in this set.
Absolutely.
It's so it has a lot of text, but essentially it's blue yellow and it has a rival for one yellow, and so you have to it's there's some a lot of what I've seen in this set is that there's a bit balance of having to discard cards in your hand. Dragon Ball, I think, is more you get more ridiculous hand size in this game than other card games that I've played, but I still think it's a good restraint to say, oh, you have to actually give up some stuff to play the cards you want to play. Yeah. So, what this Champa and Vados does is that so you rival it for one yellow, and then all of your cards in your hand, all your cards become free to combo with. Essentially, it removes one energy cost from all of your Universe Six cards, and with it just lets you go wild. It just pretty much kickstarts the engine, and then also it has like a really weird and unique way like protection in the sense of what's it really say? It says like if this card is KO'd by your opponent's skill, or is it even like removed from battle? Is
It's
it?
removed from the battle area,
Yeah.
basically, except for battle.
Yeah. Then you
Have it
can.
anyway.
Yeah. Then you bring it back, and then you also tap. It comes back tapped, but you also tap one of your opponent's energies, which really punishes your opponents for trying to remove this card. And then
He's rather unfair.
yes,
Or they are.
yeah, they are. Yeah, so and they also have the Universe Six tag and all that, so very searchable, especially like one drop Khalifa. You can find it really easily, and also the two drop Cabba, saying of Universe Six. This card's really good.
But yeah, the fact that he grabs two is insane.
And something I think is really important in this set is some of these cards with all these multicolored cards, they can really just be stuck in your hand because it costs an energy to combo with them, and even if you put it in your energy, they enter rest mode. So being able to just discard cards you don't need in your hand is like a really good effect, I think, right now. So even though it seems like a cost to discard one, usually the one you discard you don't really need anyways. So and then there's also the two drop Khalifa, which is just I don't think this card should exist. It's, for two with one specific yellow, you get to tap one of your opponent's energy and also take a life, which is normally two boons instead of like cost and effect. Like both those things are usually really good early game. So I think
Especially with Cabba as a leader.
definitely, definitely. And so we'll talk about the specifics of what the Cabba leader does, but before that, we've also got both the Kale and Khalifa have these four drops, and it's kind of like how like the apes worked back in the day. Those weren't broken at all, right? Those weren't considered like
Not at all.
they didn't go back to a design they decided was too good. But so both of them is if you combo with these on your turn, from your hand, you get to place them on top of a blue kale or a yellow Kefla, respectively, and they also have effects on top of that. So, kale, you are able to choose one of your opponent's cards in rest mode, negate their skills, and return them to your opponent's hand. Right?
Yes. So essentially, you know how Zeno negates the board kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It would stop it for activation effects that trigger when they leave the field.
Yeah,
so that's the reason why it's
like
worded
green,
that way.
like green Broly, yeah, that kind of stuff. And even I guess Champa and Vados too, right? So
yeah.
But then there's also the Kefla, which is a double strike, and I think I said Krail has crit, but double strike on Kefla, and also you're able to just tap one of your opponent's energy or battle cards. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just dumb. I don't tapping energy shouldn't be as easy as
so
they're making
Kefla can set up Kale's ability too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so I like that synergy there, and I think it's really cool. And I think the other thing that's really obnoxious is that you can evolve a Kefla on top of a Kefla.
Yeah.
And so you can just use 2 cards and then tap 2 of your opponent's energy for almost no energy if you have the Chomp and Vados out, which is insane.
Very minimal. This entire deck just feels really free.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then we've got and so extra cards are pretty generic. We've got 4 Senzu Bean, 2 Plant Vegeta, which are able to find literally any of these cards besides your super combo. And I guess and the Vados, yes, which is important enough. And then there's also the Plant Sadala. I think that's how you say it. So so what this card does is that if you play it turn 2, you're able to play Universe 6 cards from your hand and draw a card. So it pretty much
2 or less.
2 or less, yes. So it pretty much replaces itself in that regard. And then also when it blows up, you're able to tap one of your opponent's energy and also search for your drop area for a Universe 6 card.
It's the top 5, I believe. And then also Cabba interacts. It does something special if you have Planet Stadala.
Yes, that's right. The 2-drop Cabba lets you choose a card and it just stays in rest mode until the end of your opponent's next turn, which is it's only battle cards. Yeah.
Right.
So, but just the fact that you're able to commit 2 energy now and then use 1 energy later with a Planet Vegeta to tap your opponent's energy is just really obnoxious as well.
This is why I made a post. I mean, it wasn't a big post or anything in the Facebook group that we're all a part of. Getting up with this next set. Not a lot of people believe me because I mean, you've seen it yourself. You're still able to play big bombs like the Vegito deck you've been playing on stream a lot. Stuff like that, like Kill Krillin. They reach turn 4 and will kill you by 3.
Sure. Yeah, it's definitely a threat. So
you have to be aware. Out of the 3 decks we're going to show you, it doesn't have a very high ceiling. It's consistent at doing what it needs to do.
Yeah, this one's definitely a lot more consistent. So there's that, and then we've got the cards that are more unique to this build for the Cabba leader is the Kefla, the Peak of Perfection, and the Brilliant Pairing Kefla. So both of these. What are your reasons behind these? Were you kind of running out of cards that were on topic for Universe 6 for this, or
no? I actually so with the Brilliant Pairing, what attracted me to this card is that she's free.
She is free. Yeah.
So if you need to have that 1 extra play to 4 life with Cabba, so that you can flip him over and then start wreaking havoc. Also, she cleans up pretty easily. She's 24 with the Cabba boost, dual attack, so you can beat up on bodies that are tapped. Really pressures. I mean, if they're even going to be a thing, Shin and Roshi.
Yeah.
Pressures them. It pressures just a lot of cards in the meta early on. And like I said, she comes out for free, and that's why you can only control 1 of her.
Yeah, exactly. Because since it's Union Patara, she comes out in active mode. So 2 more.
So you can attack with the other ones. Yeah,
2 more swings that your opponent wasn't expecting can really win a game, because they can say, oh, their energy's tapped out and they don't have any extra plays. I'll take this 1 more hit. It won't be devastating. And then you're just like, oh nope, here's 2 more. So
she's multicolored, so it's 1 card to trigger Vados and
exactly.
And then Kefla, the Peak of perfection is actually just insane with the backside of the
Mm-hmm.
leader.
Mm-hmm.
A
So
lot of their energies. Yeah,
maybe
go
we
ahead.
should talk about the leader real quick. So what this Cabba does is that you can only run Universe 6 cards, which is a little bit of a restriction, but I think there's enough that, getting to 50, yeah, probably, just barely, I'd say, but just enough for that. And then also, every time you play a Universe 6 card, you give it plus 5k, and then you take up to 1 life. And when I first read this, most effects like these are usually like auto once per turn, but this is not. It is strictly auto. So you can just keep some of these Universe 6 guys that, guess what, love being summoned for free. So I bet you've gotten a lot of like turn 2 self awakenings, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, it's easy as long as you hit the Kale or the Sadala into something, like it's all free. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and being able to like literally turn 1 Champa and Vados if you want to is insane. You just charge a yellow, swing with leader, assuming you're going second.
Yeah.
Swing with leader, pay the 1 after comboing 2 5Ks.
Yeah, very good. And then, so what's the Awakened side do again? I don't remember that one as well.
So the Awakened side has 4 different abilities.
Yes.
So the permanent is that it's always plus 5k if your opponent's tapped out.
Yes.
Energy wise. And then the auto, when this card attacks, you draw 1. And then when your opponent's leader attacks, I'm not sure if it's this card or just in general.
Yeah.
But if they are tapped out, you get to freeze 2 of their energy.
Which
upkeep.
Yeah.
That can really hinder them. So basically, if your leader has to swing, aka Geneva, they can never tap out against you.
Yeah.
And then the auto once per turn is the reason why Kefla opponent's cards, you get a draw card.
Yeah, when you put them rest mode, you draw a card. Yeah, so a lot of
during
draw
your
from
turn
that.
or their turn.
Yes, exactly.
And it's once per turn.
Yes, and there's a lot of those effects in there. So let's go back.
It turns Kefla into a pseudo super combo that gets to tap you in energy.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the 4-drop Kefla. So it's a rival, and then it has an effect essentially based on whether you play it on your turn, your opponent's turn. And during your opponent's turn, you just tap 1 of their energy, and then you can't use any more that turn, right?
Correct.
And then what is on your own turn?
Player, so basically through a rival, which I've only done a couple times in testing with us, but you get to rest 1 of their battle cards.
Okay. So it just
then it just says you can't use the autos. What the rest of the text is.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, it just really good for putting stuff in rest mode, which your leader wants you to do anyways. So this kind of effect I've been asking for a while on leaders. We got like this effect on the new 2-drop Bardock from the anniversary box. There's that, but being on leader is a lot better, and probably too good, but there's that. So really like this engine, and I think this, like a leader like Cabba or Hit are the first choices for doing this, but I think this leader, all these cards are kind of unrestricted enough where they can be put in a lot of leaders, which I think can be good and or bad depending on how much you like them. So let's go into probably the crazier build you have is the Piranha Dragon Ball one. Yes, and so this was you played this against me at like the end of my stream, and it was real.
It ended up working.
Yeah, I think I was just talking to chat, and you were just doing whatever you wanted during that. Like you were just completely going off. So the big idea for this, and so I'd say, I think you said this yourself. This is more of a meme deck than, at least when you made it, it was more of just to be a meme instead of a.
I can give you the backstory.
Yeah, sure.
I created this based off of not messing with the veggies. One of my buddies told me that it wasn't as broken as what I was thinking, and that's assembling the squad.
Yeah.
So a lot of people go to the Scuffle Time or the Ultra Instinct build with
or like
the Blue Dende.
The Boo Agent Destruction kind of, yeah.
Yeah, that's. And so it is kind of memey because I built it to try and show off this card, but he works with everything. The 4-drop red Kefla in here that works with the other Kefla and Kales because they're Universe 6. it tied everything together, and it gave me everything I wanted. And then on turn 2, I mean, Piranha can awaken on turn 2. I mean, it's definitely possible. If not, turn 3, whatever. You can actually use Piranha's ultimate to bring back the Cabba and then just spam a board again.
Yeah.
It's a little unfair there. And then the one thing to note is that this Cabba can bring out that 4-drop combo into play, Kefla.
Yes. It's just an older card that just I think needs to not be around anymore. But then they reprinted it, so to their fairness, they tried really hard for you to not want to play this card with the other ones by making it too specific green and make all the new cards blue and yellow. But this
is Rainbow Rainbow Piranha.
Yes. There are every color's in this this deck too, which I think is really neat. So, but yeah, I'm just gonna step through the combo just for people just last time. So assembly the squad, you can use this to get Cabba. Cabba strictly looks for Kefla or Kale. If it's Kale, it adds it to your hand. If it's Kefla, you just get to play it outright, which is was okay when there is literally only one Kefla for you to find, but now that there are like a dozen, that's not good. So the targets you can get are you can get the 1-drop, which you get to play for free, and then you get to search. So it's still like a plus 2. You get to play assembling the squad. You get 2 cards on field, and you get an extra card in hand. So that's broken. And then also we've got Bold Super Saiyan 2 Kefla, which, and as he said, this looks for the top 7 cards of your deck for any Universe 7 card, Universe 6 card with a cost of, or with energy, attack power of 15k or less. So everything but the 4-drops, pretty much. So you can just do that and then go into another one. It has to be non-Kefla though, right? Or can it be Kefla?
Oh, it can be Kefla.
Okay, yeah. So, which means...
Just going to say what's insane is doing Cabba into the 2-drop Cabba that's yellow.
Yeah.
And it's like crazy.
Yeah, because for 1 card, you play... you get 3 cards on board, and you get a +1 in hand. Or I guess you're even in hand, but still being able to cycle 2... and then drop 1, like...
because he can find Champa and Vados.
Yes, exactly.
Or any of the big...
Yeah, so that can be really good. You run the risk of the red and green, Universe 6 cards being dead in hand, but I don't think that's a super big issue, especially when the 2-drop Cabba can get them out of there if you have them in your hand.
That's why it had to be Piranha.
Yes. Because you also get the added bonus of... dropping, you can revive them if you need them, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Also, I just realized we never touched on the sideboard for Cabba.
Oh.
I'd like to run back to that if we can after this.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're good. There was all right, yeah, so just finishing this. So just a lot of stuff you can bring out, and then you can go into the pretty much Chomp and Vados just opens up like the aggressive engine of evolving on things and tapping things and all that kind of stuff. So this can be really good, and then adding Sensu Bean to the mix as always can help extend plays and all that. And since Prung is really good at just getting card advantage in general, I think it's really good.
Yep, this deck's really crazy about hand size. And then actually, I just want to touch on this sideboard too.
Yeah, we'll go to that real quick. So
not an actual sideboard.
Sure. I guess the last question is why. You didn't think Shenron was better than Piranha in this deck?
Just strictly because of the revival. I didn't want to have to wait to be able to use World Peace or anything like that. Just because this is a time-sensitive deck. Actually, in our match, I only had 1 Cabba to be able to bring out with Assembly the Squad. I had drawn 1 for that turn, and 2 were in my life.
Ooh, dang, yeah.
So it's very time-sensitive. You don't. That's why I didn't play the Piranha Balls on that turn 2, because I didn't want to risk drawing that last one.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's a smart move.
But yeah,
I think
Piranha has to be it.
Yeah, I think that you could still If you want to like end the game earlier, though, I think being able to give something triple attack can be great, though.
Right, yeah.
So I think there's benefits for both. At least all I'm saying is that if someone thinks Shenron can be good, I think you should try it. I don't think it's bad. So.
Yeah, for sure.
And any pretty much wish leader that can activate the assembling the squad for free, I think could be a potential leader for this. So there's some. So, but what cards did you want to talk about in the side deck for this one? And we'll go back to the other one.
So this build specifically only has the one multicolor card.
Mm-hmm.
However, still just charge the one.
Mm-hmm.
If you needed to clear a path for the green Sun Goku in close quarters, and that's an assembling the squad target.
Isn't assembling the squad 10k or less, or is it 15k or less?
15k or less, 2k.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, 2 drop.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I must have gotten that wrong.
You get to play it.
Yeah. All right, keep going. And so that could be a really good way to blow up something that you're that's just getting in your way.
Yes, and then same kind of thing with the Vegeta striving to be the best.
Mm-hmm.
It was just another card I wanted to note because you would essentially get an energy back so that you could still play, and that energy could be yellow, which means you could arrival. You can, there's a lot of things there. And then the best is nice for any sort of mirror match. I mean, obviously they're not going to exactly be playing the same list, but they're all are a bunch of 2-drops.
Being able to run up to eight of that card, eight of any of these 2-drops can be really good because you don't even have to find them. You just have to make sure they're in your deck, which is arguably a lot easier than drawing one.
And what I actually main decked this card in this build the first couple times. Just one copy of the Hidden Powers East Supreme Kai. So assembling the squad to bring it out from the deck, and then with the Kale that has critical, essentially you only pay 1 to do a double strike crit. That's 30k.
Yeah.
So that's really strong. And then this Cabba right here, it's a promo out of the seventh version of the promo like locals get them. I don't know exactly what they're called. Tournament packs. There we go. You discard a card, which may seem bad, but you can always get it back with the Kale. But you can discard a card to bring back Kale or Kefla, and that's really important against Geneva. Not saying it's going to be around forever, but
being able to just use a 1-drop and then play essentially another 1-drop for free.
And in the instance of Kale, like I milled a 4-drop Kale, you could Cabba pitch, bring back Kale, and then get that in your hand.
Definitely.
And so like it literally just sets it up. I think he's going to be an important grab. And then Dangerous Journey Bulma, easy because it repeats Champa Vados and all the 4-drops, and then exactly. So the rest of the stuff you could use.
Yeah, and I could see this being like the Blue Dende could be a leader for this then too, because it seems like you get a lot of benefit from having stuff in your drop area.
Yeah, it totally could work out. I would probably. It's iffy because of the Cabba. You can't bring him back from the drop.
Sure, and that's fair.
You need to assembling the squad him. It's the only downside. But
yeah, I don't think it'd be too risky to do that as long as you found assembling the squad by turn 2. But that could be someone else's decision. So let's go back to the yellow Cabba.
So this is a legitimate sideboard. Since you're restricted to Universe 6, I just wanted to touch on this Champa the Trickster. I think this card's insane. It's Yellow's version of Preemptive Strike, sort of.
Like all the new counterplay 3-drops that get cheaper with multicolors.
Right. I mean, it's really nice with the Cabba front.
Yeah, exactly. Because you get to play it and then get the boost and life and stuff, right?
It just gives you like it's a Mutaito.
Yeah, exactly.
So since you can't run anything but Universe 6, it's nice to have. And then I actually like this 2-drop Cabba for like mirror matches because it forces them to have to target it with the Kefla.
Yeah,
like they're not gonna just attack it unless they attack it with the leader. So, but that 2-drop Cabba has Revenge and Blocker, and then the 3-time magic is obvious, flying nimbus, same kind of thing, and then the Cabba I already touched on.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, cool there, and let's go to our last deck, the skillless Son Goku.
I love this.
Yeah, this one was really, I felt was really impressive and drived really well. So, let's talk about maybe how did you why'd you put this deck and leader together?
I wanted to figure out why they gave us a 3-drop Vados that was a 30k.
That's
vanilla.
true. And that it is a Universe 6 too. Yeah.
It bugged me for a while because I was like, blue already has 2.
Mm-hmm.
Green only has 1.
Yeah.
Why is green still missing their 30k?
Yeah. And green only has one 20k also, right?
It's really weird. They keep leaving green out.
Yeah, and like the only thing I can think of is that like the starter, one of those blue 30ks is a starter deck promo, so maybe they didn't want that to be the case. But yeah, I do agree. Like the conception of this Vados is very weird, but it's very fortunate for this deck.
Yes, and it made me. It's essentially what I, because of the Kale being able to bring her back. That's why, if you'll notice, she's my only vanilla.
Yes, yeah, exactly. But being able to just use a 1-drop to find like an essential super combo for free. I mean, a lot of your combo stuff is just for free, but since you get the plus for your leader effect, you get a lot of potential there.
For the most part, it plays. It's like half and half. So you don't have to want to start off with a 4-star ball, which is, I mean, why there's 4 copies and then 4 of the
Son Goku. Yeah.
But there's no androids. There's no, like, you don't need that stuff because the Keflas and the Kales out like everything, and you should be able to over combo, given your hand size and the amount of. How many times did I plus in that one turn?
Yeah, it's like Son Goku's really good at just having a larger than average hand size. So for a deck like this, where it kind of tries to get rid of your hand size, I could see why it does so well.
Yeah, and it's a really nice balance. This is definitely something I could see myself taking to a tournament.
Yeah, I agree. Of the 3, this is my favorite too, because it has that nice balance of kind of. This is more of a mid-range version. The other 2, I'd say, would be a little bit more aggro based, but this has flexibility to route your opponent's answers.
And then something that like any of the blue-yellow hybrids from the past using is Planet Vegeta. For my build is in here for the Keflas and the Kales to find them, but you can grab Goku.
Yeah.
Combo.
Yeah.
So it's like
our self-awaken target too, in case you need to really self-awaken.
Exactly. Which, funny to note, for whatever reason, when I copy and pasted my list when we played.
Oh yeah, we got the wrong Vados.
Hey, vanilla Goku.
Yeah.
I didn't have Source of Power in my list.
Okay.
I found that out later.
Yeah.
So.
Oh well.
Anyway.
But
still good.
Yeah, definitely. I could see all that. So nothing. Once again, it's 2 pretty generic engines that are kind of smushed together. So not surprised it does well. I would say I'm a little bit surprised you didn't run Mutaito on your side. But what cards did you put in your side?
So 2 Betrayal of the Master is basically like Green Broly / I mean, it works decent against the Kefla and Kale stuff. It hits Champa to the hand, even though they can use the ability. But like it's just a 1-card blue.
Yeah. I could see Betrayal of the Master being really good against Champa and Vados Gracious Aid too, now that you mention it. So
yeah, it'd be nice. And then number 6 Cabba, and then 2 Kale Sister of Annihilation.
Yeah.
So she wasn't in any of the other builds because I felt like they were consistent enough other than Piranha. Piranha just went wide anyway. Yeah. Kale actually cuts down the board size. So this deck doesn't have to go wide.
Yes.
Because there isn't a like green Cabba or the blue Kale in this list.
Yeah.
Focused on getting your hand size and then the energy manipulation in order to get out free stuff. Saying is you can Kale first, which is 1 blue to go on top of the 1-drop Kale.
Yeah.
essentially board wipes your opponent. Four drops and less go away to their hand, but that can set back anyone.
Yeah, it says when a card evolves this card, you may choose all your battle cards other than this card, place them in the owner's drop area. If you do, choose all your opponent's battle cards and any cost 4 or less, return them to their hand. So, yeah, I could see this being really good against the mirror and that kind of stuff, too.
And then height and that stuff, I feel like the deck does enough pressure. I would just auto lose to that deck. I think I also have a big enough hand that I could probably out combo Victory Strike.
Yes, assuming you have the 4-drop out. Yeah, if you have the 4-drop,
even if they tap it, they have to attack it.
Yeah,
and, like they have to try and deal with it. So
that's what I meant. Like if you have it out, it just makes all your cards like energy reduction on these 10Ks is not a joke in so many ways, like offensively and defensively. Like they have to usually commit 2 cards for your 1 card without energy, and that just feels really bad when you're trying to kill something. They're just like, oh, just drop 1 card. So
for anyone who's doubting the fact that the 4 Vados is enough vanilla, 3 in our game.
Yeah,
like find them off of Khalifa's top 5. Get her back with Kale.
Worst case, you just
legit copies.
use 2 on energy 2 and then just wait for it to die, right? Or combo it off or something. I think I'd say that's probably the riskiest part about this deck, but I think it can be mitigated enough that it's not a real big issue most of the time.
And probably the weakest card in my sideboard is the TN. I don't exactly know what I would put it in for other than obvious Geneba, but I don't think this deck would have a terrible time with Geneba.
No, I don't think so either.
And it could easily be like 2 Mutaido if you wanted to.
Yeah, I don't think any of these decks really of like a modern version. Who knows what tools they'll be using next set? But yeah, this just seems really aggressive. Which Geneba I feel like is really good at stopping big attacks, but not a lot of attacks unless they go into yellow and use Flying Nimbus or something.
Exactly, and then that's why I really like the Black Mass Saiyan. The Devastator, the 3-drop. So whenever he swings, if you have 15 Saiyans between us, then he auto deals the damage.
Which are literally all your battle cards besides Champa and Vados. So that should be moderately easy.
And then, especially if they're playing Saiyans or if even.
Yeah, exactly.
And then since I play Planet, I can search them.
Yeah.
So if I see Planet.
So
but yeah,
cool. Yeah, I really do like all these builds. I think this engine's going to be put in a lot of things and really tried out. So I'm happy to see the 3 that you've built. Anything you'd like to say before we head out?
No, it was just really fun playing against you. I'm glad you had me on.
Yeah, it was. I had a good time, and I'm not as much of an aggro player and more control based, so it's nice to see someone who is better at that kind of stuff, has a more fleshed out deck that I would probably make for this. So
fair enough.
So all right. Well, thank you so much, Kasey, for stopping by. I really appreciate it, and we'll catch you all next time.